We'll begin from where we left last night, China's deceit. The whole world is witness to what happened. China went back on its word, violated agreements and provoked India. 20 Indian soldiers have laid down their life for the country. The headline has dominated global news. Tonight, let me turn it on its head. Dozens of Chinese soldiers reportedly killed as they tried to provoke India. By all accounts, China's casualties are much higher. And no, that does not take away from the loss of Indian soldiers. This is not about statistics, this is about human lives. Having said that, the Indian army responded when provoked and thwarted the opponent, and that's what counts. We can't give a number because it's China we're talking about. They're not famous for sharing correct figures. Not in the case of the Wuhan virus and not in the case of the Ladakh border. China won't confirm the deaths. But reports say the casualty figure for China may be as high as 35. The list includes a commanding officer of the P.L.A. This is something that we reported last night. Now, a U.S. intelligence report is saying the same. This is their assessment too, that Indian troops gave a befitting reply to P.L.A. aggression. And now China is talking peace. They don't want any more flare-ups at the border, they say. We've heard this before, when the Chinese ambassador talked about the dance of the elephant and the dragon, not very long ago. China's words have to be followed by action, and they always fall short. Have their troops retreated? No, they haven't, if you go by the Chinese state media. The state media is still releasing videos heavily loaded with theatrics, videos of large-scale military exercises apparently just 700-odd miles away from the site of this face-off. CCTV footage shows artillery being fired alongside troop movements and live fire exercises. On the ground, China appears to be in no mood for a peaceful solution. But officially, it continues to express faith in dialogue and diplomacy. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says it does not want to see any more border clashes with India. For China, the situation is still generally stable and controllable. Their words, the same words that China has been using for months.
In
regard to the situation concerning the front lines of the Chinese and Indian militaries, China and India are in close communication via military and diplomatic channels to solve the relevant issues. Currently, the situation in the China-India border region is generally stable and controllable.
India is not falling for China's duplicity this time. Troops along the line of actual control have been put on high alert. Besides this, an alert has been sounded along the LOC as well, the line of control, the western side, Uri, Kamalkot, Kupwara, Tangdhar, Gurez, Keren. Troops stationed in all these areas have been asked to prepare for quote-unquote every situation. Because China and Pakistan seem to be on the same page in flaring up tensions at the border. Every time China provokes along the LAC, Pakistan keeps the other side volatile. There's an attempt to engage India at multiple locations. The Indian Army has sensed this pattern of strategic encirclement and is prepared to deal with it. Back in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called for an all-party meeting on the 19th of June. This will be a virtual meet. The Prime Minister is expected to brief the opposition on the situation at the border. Reports say the government will invite suggestions to build an all-party consensus on dealing with China. In the meantime, talks with Beijing are still on. The hotline is still active, and India is not mincing any words. The External Affairs Minister of India, S. Jaishankar, spoke to his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi earlier this evening. And allow me to read out some excerpts of what was conveyed to China. And I quote, "The Chinese side took premeditated and planned action that was directly responsible for the resulting violence and casualties. It reflected an intent to change the facts on the ground in violation of all agreements. The unprecedented development will have a serious impact on the bilateral relationship, and the need of the hour was for the Chinese side to reassess its actions and take corrective steps." The Prime Minister of India too has set the record straight. He has sent India's biggest message of intent to China. Prime Minister Modi today reaffirmed that India wants peace, but if provoked, India is capable of giving a fitting reply, and that the country's integrity and sovereignty remains a top priority.
भारत शांति चाहता है, लेकिन भारत उकसाने पर हर हाल में यथोचित हर हाल में यथोचित जवाब देने में सक्षम है। मैं देश को भरोसा दिलाना चाहता हूं, हमारे जवानों का बलिदान व्यर्थ नहीं जाएगा। हमारे लिए भारत की अखंडता और संप्रभुता सर्वोच्च है और इसकी रक्षा करने से हमें कोई भी रोक नहीं सकता। इस बारे में किसी को भी जरा भी भ्रम या संदेह नहीं होना चाहिए